Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. I am back, as you can see, even though it's no longer January. Look at me, still posting. Go me, yay. So, I have a follow-up to the story that I told you in January about one of the FLAKY guys that we were friends with, and I have a follow-up. So, basically, let me just give you guys a refresher. So this was the dude who we were like trying to hang out with, and he was like super into like hanging out and being friends and stuff, but he kept bailing on us when he was supposed to come here, and it would be like hours after he was supposed to already be here, and then I would message him and be like, what's up, are you still coming? And he'd be like, oh, I'm gonna have sex with this guy, so no. So that was the guy, and let me just find this here. Where is it? I'm just looking for the last message so I don't get it wrong. Okay, so after all that went down, after it was like 6 months of this on and off like flakiness, and he had still never been to our place in 6 months, I was just like, whatever, you know, I'll let him do what he wants to do. The ball's in his court. I'm just not even going to think about it. But apparently I was thinking about it a little more than I thought that I was, because I ran into him at the club, as you do, and we had gotten a little too drunk, and I guess he like came up to me and was all, or he didn't come up, he was just like walking by me, and he was just like, hey, like as if nothing was wrong. And you know, as far as he knew, maybe nothing was wrong, but to me, obviously, I was a little annoyed and still hurt by what happened, so I guess I kind of just gave him like an eye roll or something. I was just like, ugh, like, and he just like looked like this, like what did I do? And I didn't even remember that this happened until the next day when I had like this flashback, and I was like, oh no. So I felt a little bit bad for that, and because that's not how I like to handle things. I think you shouldn't punish people for something that they don't know that they did. I think people deserve to know what they did at least, because then otherwise how can they like fix it or change it or whatever. So I just sent him a message being like, hey, I'm sorry about that. That wasn't the best way to handle it. This is what you did that made me feel like my time was being disrespected, and I didn't like that. So I basically just like wrote him a message, just being upfront, just explaining what happened, the situation. And he has seen it, and he never responded. And I was just surprised, like, even if usually people will respond something, like they'll say like, oh, well, I don't think I did anything wrong, or they'll be like, oh, I had no idea you felt that way, I'm sorry, or just, you know, something. People will just say something, but this guy didn't say anything, and it was like a whole week I waited, and just no reply. So I sent one more message just being like, by the way, I'm not mad, this isn't meant to be hostile or anything, I just thought I should be upfront. And that I would appreciate a reply, but I will follow your lead. And he's seen that one, and he also did not reply to that one either. So, given that this was a friendship where nothing else bad has happened, it seems a little bit weird for me that he wouldn't reply to that, just because, like, obviously if we had had ongoing conflict and tension, then yeah, maybe he'd be like, I'm over this. But this was the first time we'd ever talked about anything of the sort, and like nothing else bad has happened. So it seems to me if it was important enough to be friends with us, then he would have at least had the courtesy of saying something, or even just apologizing for his behavior if he felt the need to do so. But to just not say something is really such a sign that he's just like has no investment in it and does not give a shit. So that's basically what I thought from the beginning based on his actions. Again, I'm not like losing sleep over this. I just thought this was like an interesting story to tell you guys, because I've literally never in my life experienced it quite this way. I've met a lot of flaky people, but I've never met people that would just straight up not reply to that. Like, that was new to me, so that's why I felt like I should share it and update you guys, because I did tell you the story before. And just like, I don't think, also, I've never had anyone straight up just say, oh, I'm not coming over anymore because I'm gonna have sex with someone. And not like a couple hours before, like a couple hours after he was supposed to be here hanging out with us. No text, no heads up, no like, hey, I'm not coming, just straight up like, just doesn't say anything and waits for me to message him at like midnight. Like, hey, are you still coming, and to just be like, no, just gonna have sex with someone now. It's like, great, we've been waiting around all evening, and we kept our evening open for you. The whole evening, like, thanks for letting us know, and thanks for bailing on us, and not even telling us that you were bailing on us, and just to have sex with someone. Like, he didn't even, like, make up an excuse, like, oh, family emergency, just, like, straight up, like, no, just gonna have sex with this guy. Um, so I think I was pretty safe in saying that that was disrespectful, even when I messaged him to say why I was hurt or felt disrespected by his actions. I didn't feel like he was respectful of our time, and I wasn't even like hostile or mad about it. I just said, hey, this is the situation. I don't think that was a great thing to do, which was leaving it open for him to be like, oh, you're right, my bad, but just nothing, just saying nothing. And it's like, we know people who know him. We're friends with people. We go to similar parties. We're gonna run into you at the club. Like, you might as well just say something to, like, keep the civility and not just ignore me and say nothing, because now it's gonna be awkward. Like, there's just no way around it. It's gonna be awkward because we're friends with the same people, basically, and we're like, they're gonna be saying hi to us, and you're gonna be standing there like, what, not talking to us now because you've chosen to ignore it and end the conversation on a really awkward note. So that's on him. I don't think I would have done anything differently. I feel like I'm glad I spoke my mind, because otherwise I end up being the one that has to internalize all the awkward feelings and pretending everything's fine when I'm not the one who did something wrong. So I feel like it's better for me to have been upfront, and yeah, I don't regret what I did at all. Like, there are definitely situations where I'm like, yeah, I could have been a little bit better, I could have been a little bit nicer, I could have done something differently, but in this situation, I think I feel like I did the right thing. I'm more than sure I did the right thing. I've never talked to anyone that was like, oh, no, you should cut him some slack. Like, the guy needs to get laid. Like, no one's ever said that. Like, most people agree with me when I explain the situation in the story. So, I considered him sort of a mature person relatively, like a smart person, but clearly that is not really the case. So, I don't know, maybe one day he'll grow out of it, or if not, then I guess not. Then if he's happy with his life and the way he conducts himself, and his friends don't mind that, then that's cool. Then that's all there is to it. So, anyways, just thought I would post a video for you guys, because I didn't want to just stop posting now that January's over. And, always love to hear from you guys in the comments or messages as well. So if you guys have any like experiences that are similar at all, or you just want to vent or ask any questions, feel free to let me know if you've been in situations that are like this as well. So I am gonna go do stuff now, so I will talk to you guys not too long from now. See ya.